How's it going, everybody? Welcome to 2A News Now. And as always, here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward and to the point with no BS added in. As of today, Big Brother in California is using merchant category codes to track purchases at gun shops. More than 12 states have passed laws prohibiting the use of merchant category codes for firearm retailers. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, states like Colorado, New York, and now California, they will require companies like MasterCard and Visa to implement these merchant category codes. They say it's so they can look for suspicious activity. But we all know that's a bunch of bullshit, even though the California law goes into effect today. But they say it might take a couple of months to actually get this up and running. The new law requires credit card companies to make these codes for firearms available to banks and other financial institutions starting July 1st. And then they have several months to determine which of their clients should be categorized as gun stores and then assign them the new codes. The nation's largest payment network, Visa, recently updated its merchant data to add on the firearms codes so they can comply with California's new law. And once the category codes actually go into effect, credit card companies and banks will be required to report suspicious transactions to the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. But there's one big problem with that. No one is able to tell anyone, or willing to tell anyone, what the hell actually is a suspicious transaction and what it looks like. Now, supposedly, the only information that they're able to see is the dollar amount and where it was purchased. So if somebody purchased a large number of firearms, if it was at a sporting goods store, you couldn't tell if someone bought a boat or a whole bunch of firearms and ammunition. Supposedly, they say, even with the use of that category code, it wouldn't be possible to determine if someone was buying a gun at a gun shop. It just shows how much was spent. And I personally think it's a load of bullshit. We know what they're actually going to use it for. So how are these companies supposed to determine what is a suspicious purchase, and if that suspicious purchase will be investigated? And according to reports, a very small amount of suspicious activity reports have led to investigations. According to a 2022 report, a little over 5 million suspicious activities were reported. That seems like an awful lot to me. What do you think? And only about 4% of those reports led to some sort of law enforcement looking into it. And even a lower percentage of 4% where there is actually any prosecutions. According to the California State Representative that championed this law, the intent of the gun merchant code is to spot suspicious patterns, like a person with little history of gun purchases who suddenly spends large amounts of money at multiple gun stores in a short period of time. Once the banks alert authorities, there could be an investigation, potentially thwarting a mass shooting. How many more gun laws do they need in California? They now have the 1 in 30 law, which makes it so someone in California can only purchase one firearm in a 30-day period, and all gun purchases have a 10-day waiting period. So how in the hell is somebody supposed to purchase a large amount of firearms in a short period of time? Because they frickin' can't. And I mentioned this in a previous video last week. With all the gun control that California has, they led the United States with the most active shooter incidents in a year. And one easy around this is to purchase your firearms and ammunition, if possible, with cash. And some gun retailers are actually putting ATMs into their stores so they can actually do that. It's just Big Brother in California wanting to identify and track what people are purchasing at gun shops. And it will definitely lead to a gun registry. And like I said earlier, they currently say that the only information is given out is how much was purchased and at what retailer it was purchased at. And what a lot of people believe is going to happen, if they start seeing a lot of people purchasing firearms at gun retailers with cash, they're going to pass a law that requires people to purchase firearms with debit or credit cards. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments section down below. And if you appreciate today's video and you want to help the channel out and help it to continue to grow, just please take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I really would appreciate it. And I invite you to come back and watch my next video.